Welcome, you guys. I want to just come on here and talk about a few things. Okay, first of all, I go really to the heart when I just start doing this stuff. Sometimes I just go straight into it. I've been told by, I think, three people in this last week that they feel like they're in therapy when they talk to me. And I'm a little bit humbled by that, but also flattered. I'm not really sure. I'm just taking it for what it is. This is what I do. So I appreciate that it's apparently coming out as such, but I'm also like, I don't mean to be that serious all the time or that like deep and maybe perhaps dark. I don't know. Anyway, here we are going just straight to the heart of it because this is what I do. So I was talking with someone else the other day. Apparently I talk a lot. Go figure, as I'm on here talking to my camera, just like a real loser over here. No, that's fine. This is my job. You know what's funny? If you have ever lived alone, you will start talking to yourself all the time, just all day, and it's really bizarre. One of my friends told me recently that just recently started living alone. She's like, "Do you talk to yourself a lot? Like, is this normal?" And I'm like, "Yes. Get used to it. It's scary living alone. Not scary. I mean, it's neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is you get to this point when you live alone where you realize that you don't like who you are, and facing yourself just gets really ugly sometimes. So you have to just kind of like create this invisible friend out of yourself to just start talking to and get out of yourself. I'm probably not explaining this well. I could do another episode on this if you guys want me to. But so I was talking to someone the other day, and when I was just talking, I was just kind of rambling on my opinions, I guess, because I'm very opinionated, if you can't tell. That's honestly like the hardest part of coaching is the fact that I can't really give my advice because it's not so much about advising, it's about coaching, and I just want to say so much, but this is why I think I'm a good coach, is the fact that it keeps me quiet. Anyway, okay. I was talking to someone and was just giving my advice on things. And by the way, I do consulting. If you actually want my advice, I got you. Maybe more ways than you want. So I was, giving my advice. How many times am I going to come back to this every time I try to say this? And and I was realizing as I was saying all this, I was like, you know what? I'm kind of like really freaking smart. And this person told me too. She was like, you have really good insight. And I was like, you don't think I'm just overthinking? And she's like, no, you actually have really, really good insight. I'm impressed, really. And that meant the world to me because I like to think that I have good insight, and I think I do, but I don't think that other people necessarily think of me in that way. Kind of, but not really, because I feel like, I don't know, I'm very different in my personal life than I am when I'm working, if that makes sense. And I don't associate my social circles with work. So people don't really see that when I'm in social circles because I'm more giddy and I'm kind of weird and just like, I'm very different. And the fact that this person noticed that meant a lot to me. And was kind of the fuel that I needed to just escalate me to this entire another level. Because I say all the time, you can have 99 reasons to walk away. You only need one good reason to stay. And sometimes having a life coach having that coach, that support for you is that one person, and that is all it takes. That is all it takes to skyrocket you to the next level. I know this from my own personal experience, having my own personal coach. The one person who literally believed in me changed my life. And I mean literally changed my life. That is not even an exaggeration. That being said, so I realized through this of realizing, yeah, that like I actually do have really good insight, and I really do. I was very aware of it myself after it was said that it is really, really, truly true. I realized then in that moment, it's never that I was stupid. It's never that I was incapable. It's never that I didn't qualify, you know, or anything along the lines of that. I realized that I felt all of those things though, because it was so unfamiliar to me to associate myself in that particular category under that title, if that makes sense. When I'm out with friends, I am not the insightful one, if that makes sense. I don't see myself that way anyways. I see myself as the giddy friend, the fun friend, the one that's just out there to just not be like a party, like good timer, but sort of like I'm the one that doesn't really take things seriously when I'm in that type of environment, because that's the one time in my life where I don't have to, because I am so on top of everything in my life outside of that. When I'm out with friends, I want to have fun and just be a friend and just lay back and just do my thing. So anyway, where I'm trying to go with this is the fact that I feel like there, in so many ways in our life, we can feel so just kind of sunk, ran over, worthless, and it has nothing to do with our worth or our knowledge or any reason that we'll tell ourselves at that time that it has to do with. It has everything, in fact, though, to do with the fact that whatever situation we are in or whatever we're trying to see ourselves in that particular situation is unfamiliar to us, and the unfamiliarity can just drag us down. It can absolutely drag us down. I've also noticed this a lot in my business, of the things that I was struggling with the most with my business, when I confronted the fact that I felt like it was unfamiliar to me, and just try to dive head over heels into this stuff and figure it out for what it is and get used to it. And, you know, which just kind of gave myself no choice but to be like, you know what, this is what I'm doing. I either need to figure this out or hire someone else to do it. And I don't want to do that, so I'm going to figure it out myself. The more that I've gotten comfortable with it, the more that I feel so capable. And it's never had anything to do with my own capability. It has to do everything with the familiarity. Everything has to do with the familiarity. And that right there, I think, just says all that I need to say. What in your life do you feel is just not familiar? Whether it's something in your life that you know does not feel familiar to you and therefore is intimidating, or something in your life that you feel you are not smart enough in, you are not capable enough, whatever you feel like maybe you just can't seem to get a grip on, or whether it's in your business, is it because it's not familiar? I want you to get really, really real with yourself and dive into that idea of, is this actually because I don't feel capable, or is this actually because when I think about it, it's not familiar to me and therefore I feel incapable? I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be that it's not familiar. I guarantee you. Whether it's new, something you're trying out that's new, whether maybe a rule has changed, maybe it's a job you've had for 10 years, but the system is changing, things are changing, your management is changing, staffing is changing, whatever. That area right there could be not familiar. When you really break it down, is there something in that dynamic that is not familiar to you that is throwing it off and making you feel this way? I guarantee you could find it. If you guys would be interested in booking a free discovery call with me one-on-one, you can book a link in the description below. You can also find all of my other social media links in the description below to my all of my social media platforms is at Mermaid Kassandra, as I'm a professional mermaid, and also at Make Waves Coach. And also check out my podcast, Make Waves Mermaid Kassandra, available every place podcasts are found. Subscribe to my YouTube, same names. And yeah, I will talk to all of you all soon. Go out there and make waves. Mwah.